In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
Psalm 127:3. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. This suggests children are a precious gift from God to be valued and cared for.
In the United States, a child a minute is taken into DHS, CPS, and so on custody. The reality is their pics are already selected, you just don't know it. Being perfect no longer matters. It's what the adopting families are looking for.
Who is it stealing the children, you ask?
From caseworker to the White House, the buck stops at all levels, just not where it is supposed to be. The services your family needs, we the people have paid for to ensure your reunification. Title IV says, reunify at all costs. United, we stand means nothing to us when it comes to family values. Children are being ripped away from their families. Parents are reverting to addictive behaviors to cover the pain. The trauma caused by child removal is just being recognized, and the results are atrocious. Termination of parental rights is not healthy for anyone, just profitable for the people enforcing the line.
It's time Washington listens to the cries of our children, the wails of their mothers, and the rage growing in the fathers. These are our children. Keep your damn hands off them. We are coming to act on the behalf of the children God gave us to protect, and you kidnapped.
All right. Good Saturday evening to everybody. This is CPS Talk with Vinny. I'm currently waiting for some guests to show up. So I'm going to speak a little bit about my case and what I'm going through. So I'll take you guys back about a year ago. We got kicked out of my parents' house due to issues that arised, and we're forced out with nowhere to go. And we were told that we needed to find a place to go. Well, a friend of mine took us in, and from that, we've dealt with CPS came knocking after we had to leave my friend's house, at my wife's friend's house. I said no to letting them in. She let them in. They forced me out of the house, got me to leave in order for her to sign their safety plan. She left there. Hey, Tammy, how are you doing? She left there, moved down here to my parents' house. The kids were safe. They were fine. They were living with my mom, my stepdad, and my sister. And they showed up here 3 days later with an officer and took my kids without a warrant, without a court order in hand, just arbitrarily took my kids. So you would say they kidnapped my children. From there, it has spiraled. I have been arrested twice on some heinous charges. The second charges are falsified charges that this DA that is corrupt put on me. I cannot speak on my criminal case due to him trying to silence me and silence my voice. But there is ways around that because they did not say I could not speak about my CPS case. So furthermore, the allegations against me are pretty steep, and I've been combating them since the beginning, and now people are starting to see the proof of the matter that are coming to light. Failure to produce discovery, failure to abide by the law, the Constitution, the violations of due rights. There has been numerous things that have happened in my case, and I'm sure, like a lot of you are aware, that CPS does not care about your constitutional rights or the rights to due process. They do not care. They think they are untouchable. But the moment they enter your home without a warrant or court order in hand, is the moment they lose their immunity. And that is key to everything, guys. And I'm going to tell you that as, I've been fighting this for over a year now. Most of my stuff I have done on my own paperwork. I've had help with some of the case laws through Gunner, through Darren, through Ashley. There's been a few people that have helped me along the way, and I appreciate their help because I have learned more and more as I've gone in deeper into this case, and I've searched and searched and searched. I was hoping that Lady P would be joining us to explain something that she found, but since she is not here yet, I'm going to explain a little bit about what she found. So I just want to implore you guys that you need to be looking into your case files. She shared with me some information that she found. So I want to point this out to you guys. It's called MDE, Multidisciplinary Exam. And they do it on all children that are taken into DHS custody after 30 days. It's legally supposed to get legally supposed to get your permission, but they don't do that. Okay. This exam is done. It's a sexual assault exam, full on, legs wide open, touching, prodding, anal wink tests. And they're doing this to our children. And something needs to give here because if that was done to my two children without my consent, I think that's a major breach of policy and procedures and a major breach in constitutional rights because I have a right to know what you were doing to my child. I have a right to know what kind of exams you are administering on my child. So with that said, people, you know, I'm flabbergasted by that information that I received today from Lady P, explaining what it was, and I even looked up the definitions and whatnot. And I tell you what, to do this on a child is not only sick in your heads, CPS, but you're sick in your minds. To make a child stripped down naked in front of you is sexual assault in itself. And I'm gonna state that right out there right now, that CPS is creating sexual assault on their own because they are forcing these children to undress in front of them. And that is wrong. That is a constitution violation. And I'm not a parent that will stick by it. I've already contacted my attorney and my wife's attorney, and I've told both of them that I want this investigated into. And if this did in fact happen, I want something done about it. I'm also fighting the jurisdiction piece. So I'm challenging their jurisdiction because Kennebec County, out of Augusta, Maine, says that they hold jurisdiction for the CPS case, which is a lie. I did not live in Kennebec County for more than 6 months. I did not live in Saginaw County for more than 6 months. I have been in Cumberland County for more than 4 years. So that would put jurisdiction in Cumberland County, not Kennebec County, which means that this court has totally fraudulently kidnapped my children without jurisdiction. And I'm going to be fighting them on this. And I'm going to prove to this court that they do not have jurisdiction, and I'm going to stuff it down their face. The gloves are coming off now. I am done playing with these people. I am done letting them get over on us parents and taking our children and thinking it's okay that they can sex traffic our children. Not on my watch, you're not. Not on my watch. You are not adopting my child to any foster family. I don't give a shit who they are. I will fight you until I am dead. I'm an outraged father who has had nothing but problems with CPS and dealt with CPS most of my life. Hi Carrie, hi Tammy. Sorry I didn't respond to you guys. There is so much to my case, and even Darren has seen my case a little bit, and so hasn't Carrie. And they know that there's a lot of bullshit within my case, and there's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of tampering with evidence, coercion, um, by both parties, by the courts, by CPS, by this outside influencer that says she hasn't seen our kids in years. She never knew our damn kids. The kids never met her. And for her to sit there and prey up on her hide horse and think that she's God's gifts to women, let me tell you something. This lady does not deserve to even have a husband, because her husband is the one taking care of her child, not her. And every single picture on Facebook, all you see is her husband taking care of the child, not her. She is no good herself, and she needs to be investigated because her husband is the one taking care of their child and not her. And I fully believe that. But I'm surprised that Lady P hasn't, really joined. Or Herbert, you're busy talking. Yeah. Um, it, it's tremendous, the information that I found and shared today. And I just want to encourage you all that now that we're starting a new show Saturdays at 1 to 2, it's an hour block, and it's represented for Maine. So I want to encourage you guys to start participating in all the shows, because all the shows will have different sorts of information. Like the main show is going to be dedicated for Maine stuff going on in Maine. And the CPS show, Victims Hunting for Justice, will be the Monday through Friday show. and then the Tiff and the Punisher show. So, and then we're going to have Danielle adding her shows during the week and on the weekends as well. So we're going to start having a busy schedule for you guys. We're trying to come up with ways to get it out to the public and to start getting more followers. So we feel that the more followers we get, the better we're going to do. So like I said, I'm finding more information throughout my case. I'm looking into things. My attorney actually flied back and told me that he knows the case law that I sent to him today. He asked me questions about it and what I thought, and we're in kind of like a group chat. It's me, my wife, my attorney, her attorney. So we're all in a group chat, and I messaged back, and she messaged and said what she had to say, and um, so hopefully they listen to what we have to say, and then I know Richard will, because Richard is one of them people that actually look into things. So I'm kind of glad that I have Richard on my side. I'm glad that my wife got a good attorney, which is Allison Coons. She's out of Portland. She's a ACLU attorney, a civil rights attorney, and a pro bono attorney at that. So I'm kind of glad that she got her, because we did some research on Miss Allison, and she's got really good credentials. So um, keep talking, get it out. Yeah, yeah. Tammy, if you only knew what I actually wanted to say. You know, I had a whole spiel and a whole thing set up for tonight, and I'm seeing that people aren't coming through with what they said that they would be here on the show. I sent the links out, and I don't see them people in here. I see Debbie, I see Tammy, I see Carrie. You know, and it kind of goes hand in hand. I know, people have other lives and they got stuff going on the weekends, but if you say you're going to be here, at least show up and be here. Um, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Don't leave a person hanging. If you can't make it, shoot them a message. Say, okay, sorry, I could not make it. Can we reschedule for another time? That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Is if you can't reach out to someone, you got a problem. You got to be able to reach out. If you want to get your story heard, you want to share information. Um, you're not going to do that if you're going to basically ignore that person that's reaching out to you. And I don't know what to say to that. I really don't. Herbert sent me a couple clips that he wanted me to play as to videos, but I still can't do that on this tablet. It's not allowing me to do it. It doesn't allow me to share the screen. So I really don't know what to do with that avenue. Yes, it's a good idea to share them, but right now I'm not set up with my laptop to be able to do so. I'm still trying to fix problems with that. Um, so yeah, I thought you were starting later. I was gonna nap for an hour. No, no, no. I said 7:30, and I started right on time. I was right to the T at the 30 mark when I started. So I was trying to be on time. I'm trying to show my dedication to my own show and to the other shows. Um, so I'm trying to be in every single show, um, to encourage people and to you know get them to understand the frustrations that we are having it here in Maine. Um, Maine is no joke, people. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna patronize you. Um, we are prime for corruption. We rated a big fat F for corruption. We are top of the line for corruption. We were prime years and years ago for corruption, and it's been here since. It goes from our governor to the Senate to the courts to the district attorneys to the AAGs to the guardian ad litems to the state police to the local police. That's how far, even the county jails. they are just as corrupt. So it goes all the way down the friggin' line. That's how embedded it is in the state of Maine. And I don't know if we can combat that much corruption. There is so much that it's bad. Yeah, we rank number one. Yep, number one in corruption, top of the states. We are flat across the board, the highest rating for corruption. And trying to find my cigarettes, so give me uno momento. Oh, that's right, I need a new pack. So I just hope and encourage that you guys, keep me in your thoughts and prayers this week. This coming week, I go into court for my criminal case, and it's for sanctions against the district attorney. Hopefully, we prevail. We have a nice motion that my attorney, Steve, had put out there. And so hopefully we will prevail in court. We'll see. I mean, only time will tell. But hopefully I will have my bail conditions lifted, and I will have visitations with my children. That is my goal, as well as trying to get this case dismissed because the DA refuses to cooperate. And I really don't like him. I find him to be a weasel. And you know what kind of weasels are. I have no respect for the man. I do not. I do not like his attitude. I do not like the way he carries himself. He's got a dark aura around him. I just do not like it. And the fact that he is going into from the criminal case to the CPS case, I don't like that either. He's crossing jurisdictions to get to the CPS case and to inform them of information going on in my case in Portland. And I find that to be highly illegal. And this guy needs to go down for what he's doing. Our society is corrupt. Yep, it is. It is very corrupt. And like I said, it goes deep up here. Some states are not like us. So, I see, Chris's story and Debbie's story all the time, where TFI. I don't know what TFI is. I know it's some form of identity of CPS. But to me, TFI don't exist. It's CPS. In my world, it's CPS. That is what they go by up here. That is their name, CPS. I know in other states it's DSS, DSF. They can make up whatever initial they want. There's still a 3 initial. They still were overturned by Chevron. Okay. And you guys need to start realizing that your constitutional rights you do have. You need to start using them. You need to start listening to what we tell you. We're just trying to help you. We are not attorneys. We are not lawyers. We are not advocates. We're just general people, we the people, coming out and telling you what is going on so it opens your eyes so you can see yourself and use the information that we use to help you. So what I'm going to probably do is, I know I said I was going to probably go till 8:30 tonight, but since it's just me tonight, I'm going to go until about 8:15, and then I'm going to cut off because I need to eat dinner. I haven't done that yet, and dinner is done. My mom just texted me and said dinner's done. So I want to be able to make sure I get dinner. Danielle Beam trying to get on. Danielle's trying to get on. Is that what you said? It's a different link. It's not the same link. This is my own personal show that Darren created for me. So this is my show. That we have the other show. That we have the CPS show. That we have the Tip and Darren show, and then we're gonna have the Danielle show. So there's like each show has its own link. And Danielle didn't message me to ask me for the link, so that's why. And I was hoping to have my other two people on, Herbert and Lady P, who said she was going to be here and share her information tonight. And I don't see her here. I don't see her in the comments. I don't know what happened to her. I sent her the message. So I sent Herbert the link as well, and I haven't seen him either. So I don't know really. But yeah, you guys should really look into the information that I just shared about that testing that they do, which is called MDE. I'll put it in the chat. MDE, and it's a multidisciplinary test. I don't know why it's trying to type the wrong thing here. Sorry, guys. That's what it's called. MDE, multidisciplinary test exam, or exam. It's a test exam. So you guys really should look at that. If you got CPS involved, they've taken your kids, because they do this within 30 days of having your kids in custody. And if you didn't consent to it, and they didn't notify you that they had it done, that's a breach of policy and procedure and a breach of your constitutional rights. I did look into it today when she sent it to me. So I had a whole thing lined up tonight with the show. I was hoping to, like I said, get Lady P on. Let her tell a little bit of her story. She wasn't going to go into detail because she doesn't want to show her hand. But she was going to explain the MDE and go over the information. And I don't know what happened. So I'm hoping that, I can reach back out to her and get a hold of her.
Yes.
But, we got Mr. Herbert here. Mr. Herbert, good evening. Are you there, Mr. Herbert? And he's off.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Herbert.
Hey, how you doing? I had to find my earplug, so there'll be no echoes. I got my earplug, so there's no echoes.
Well, it's just the two of us right now. I don't know what happened to Lady P. I sent her the link like I did you. And she told me to send it to her, and I did, so I haven't seen her yet.
Oh, wow. Can you call her on the phone?
Nope, I don't have her number. We've been communicating via email.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I watched that show a little earlier today with that gentleman from the radio station, and I thought he was pretty good. He gave some good insight, good information.
The Angry
And
Citizen, yeah. Yes, he is.
uh, yeah, and I also did some research I sent to you to find out that, yep, the police can arrest you
Yep.
for issues dealing with your children.
Yep. And they use their abusive power to do so.
But the power that they use is passed down to them from higher ups, or else they can't
Right.
do a thing. Like a security guard can make a civilian arrest, but he's not a police officer.
Right.
So he's no different than anybody else. Any civilian can make a civilian arrest. And security guards, they have no authority to make an arrest except for that of a civilian arrest. So the police officer has authority set down to them from the states that they work for, whatever governments or states they work for.
Yep.
And that's how they're able to make that arrest based on written law. So if you want to change that, I'll give you an example. Flickering a cigarette bud to the ground in some states may be against the law. If you change that, it's not against the law anymore.
Well, that means that we the people need to reach out to our legislative and government bodies and say, this is what we want changed. This is what we want done. We need to stop hiding behind the veil and letting these people dictate law to us, and they don't even practice safe law themselves.
You're correct.
Because
we the people
as we all know, every single one of us has a flaw. Every single one of us has probably had some kind of influence or had some kind of run-in with the law, whether it's a ticket or whether it was, they brought us home as a child because we were out partying with our friends or whatever. We've all had some kind of thing with the law.
Correct.
Obviously, you were of the law, so
Yes.
you have a better understanding, Herbert.
Well, I was always in jail, and I was always in court.
Yeah,
but that was my job.
You know that was your job. That was what you had to do. You had to bring in people, and I'm sure there were some people that you didn't want to even bring in, but you had to because that's the law.
Well, when the wife gets beat up by the husband and the next door neighbor calls and the wife's eyeball is hanging out, do you think maybe I should just walk away from the husband?
Nope, definitely not.
I mean, how about I just say,
my thing on that, and I'm gonna put my word out to all of you women out there watching the show right now. I do not support a man that will beat a woman or a child and get away with it. You know what I think should be done? I think that man should be beat by a bunch of guys for beating up a woman who could not defend herself.
Okay, I understand that point. But if those guys beat up that man, they too could go to jail.
No, I'm saying when he's in jail, I think he should get an ass whooping.
Yeah, okay, but still, it's illegal. So I'm just looking from a legal point of view.
I know it's illegal, but you know what?
Yeah.
For a man to strike a woman and get away with it, no,
you shouldn't get away with it. No, you shouldn't get away. That's why when I come along, I place him in handcuffs. He goes to jail. He faces the judge. He gets an arraignment and a date and everything. And his date comes up to go in trial, and he's probably going to be charged and serve a little time. You see?
Yep. Well,
so I think you agree. I mean, you agree that something's got to be done to that dude that beat up the woman. You agree to that, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. And you would agree that it would be wrong if you called me up and I said, I don't feel like coming to help you out with your situation.
I would
That's
call your
wrong also.
supervisor at that point.
Yeah, the supervisor says, oh, we're having a meeting. We don't have time right now. You see, so
You don't have
that's why I'm
time?
saying that all of
Nope.
this, yeah, in other words, somebody's breaking in your house and it's like, oh, well, did they steal anything yet? No, but he's trying to break in. Well, let us know if he gets in. I mean, that's not right.
Tammy, uh, Tammy, to just kind of point out on, do I think the laws are corrupt? I believe that a lot of these little friggin' laws that they've made up over the years, like you need a driver's license to drive. Well, the Supreme Court ruled that to operate a motor vehicle, you did not need a license. And that is
So
Supreme
you,
Court ruling. But we have to have a driver's license, um, or we have to register for this. Here we go. I'm going to point this out. Okay, we have to register our cars here in Maine. Okay, and some states do as well. Okay, we have to register our cars in Maine to drive on roads that they never fix. And this is our government. But they're passing laws to make us register our car, but they don't want to fix the roads. They'd rather spend the
that's
money into the child welfare system than to fix our infrastructure. I'm
that's
sorry,
a
but
people.
there's got to be a line drawn here.
I agree with you, and that's a people to government issue. You get that's when
And
you
then
go to your legislators. You
and,
gotta get that straightened out. You gotta make a lot of noise about that.
and to allow these judges to only operate at a notary of the public or a administration. No, these judges were assigned to these courts to be a judge, not be a play little petty downstairs courtroom bullshit. Okay. And that's what a lot of these cases go through. They go through a little courtroom. And I'm going to explain this to you because here in Cumberland County, in the Portland District Court, they have a courtroom in the basement of the courthouse. And you were brought in on the bus through the back door, held in the cell, and then brought out into the court when they call you for your case. Meanwhile, every single people that are in these courtrooms are everyone else's cases that people are sitting in for. Okay. So they're hearing every single case that's going through the courtroom, public knowledge. So all these people are gaining this information and going, okay, we know who to look out for now. Who's the bad person? Meanwhile, here I am, Mr. Tory, um, and they're saying my charges out loud into this entire courtroom. So now I'm not only looked at as a bad person, I'm looked at as an awful, disgusting person to the public, which I work and I serve in. Okay, because I worked at a restaurant and then I worked at a supermarket. Okay, that was my first job. I served the public. Do you know how that looks to you in the public and how it
It looks
shames you
bad.
to the public?
Yes, that's what they call public shaming. Other countries do it in the middle of the square. You got
And they
thousands
get
of people standing around watching that.
and they get away with doing it. And I think that should not be
Yeah.
allowed whatsoever.
So you would say that. Okay, so you would say that they should have when they have a hearing on cases, it should be just you, the judge, and your attorney.
When it's an arraignment, when it's an arraignment case, it should be just the prosecutor, the attorney, the client, and the judge, and the his clerk of court. That's all it should be.
Yes.
That's it. It should
Yes.
not be,
Okay.
and the person's family, and that's it.
Sure.
No one else allowed it. It's supposed should go individual court hearings, not everyone piling in the
Right.
courtroom for every single hearing. I do not believe in that.
Yes.
I do not.
Yes.
Nope.
I understand. You have no opposition for me there. I hear what you're saying.
I feel that, you know, if it comes to the point of trial, then okay, yeah, then people should be in the courtroom because they should be watching what's going on with these courts and these judges and going, okay, we're seeing this, we're not seeing that, you know, picking out from different cases what they're seeing, what they're not seeing. Yeah, I can understand
Okay.
that. But when it's just arraignments and like what do they call them? Dispo hearings. They should not have these people in these courtrooms. It should be
Well,
closed to one individual case.
I go a step beyond. Even when your date comes up and you have a jury trial, the only people in the courtroom should be the judge, the jury, you, your attorney,
The wit-
the
and the
prosecutor,
and the witnesses.
and the witnesses, and that's it. That's what. So I go a step further. I'm saying that there shouldn't be public people in there on a case like this, on any kind of case. So I'm with you on that.
You know, and just with
But
like
every state, you said some states, there's no some states. Every state, you have to have a driver's license. All 50 states. Tell me a state that does not require a driver's license. Have your viewers tell me, type down what state does not require a driver's license. And what state doesn't have the situation like you have up in Maine, where during arraignment, everybody's in there. Who's being arraigned, they're in a courtroom. I don't know of any state that doesn't have it working like that.
hold on. I'm looking that up.
Yeah.
Okay. As of today, no state in the United States does not require a driver's license. Yeah, that's true.
No state in the United States does not
Okay.
require a driver's license.
None.
Meaning you do have to have a driver's license.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, that's correct. You have to have a driver's license, including Hawaii, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John's, Puerto Rico, Guam. Those are the territories of the United States. You have to have a driver's license.
I think they should change the law on it, though. I mean, if they're going to require it, you know, with the way society is now and the way our kids are doing drugs and alcohol, and you're seeing more accidents and more of this and more of that, you know, I really think that they should do more than what they are when they do the driver's ed. A
Well, I
two
can tell you from experience responding to accidents, a lot of times, number one, the car's probably stolen. Number two, the car is not stolen, but it belongs to the kid's parents. And the kid is racing down the street with either the stolen car or his parents' car and gets into a bad accident. He doesn't even have a driver's license. I know of cases where it stopped where people have driver's license, but they were suspended or revoked, but they're still driving. So the only way you can solve something like that is with that new thing they have out with breathalyzer, where you can't start your car unless you blow into the breathalyzer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some states have that. I don't believe every state has that, but I know a lot of states do have that. You could drive, but you got to blow into a tube to make the car start.
Yeah, because it says it as if you're able to drive or not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The car won't start.
Yep.
If you blow, 0.8 point whatever, if you blow the numbers, the car won't start.
Oh yeah, they have. They definitely have made a lot of money off the family courts. And not only have they, these attorneys have gotten pretty rich. And, you know, these attorneys are backed by the bar associates. And if any of you are wondering, if you go and you look up the bar associates, Their main branch of office is in New York, and they are a big firm. They're nationwide, countries wide. They expand from here to across the ocean. Um, they're a big corporate identity backed by money, and that's what they are. They are backed by lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money, and these bar associates dictate the law to the judges. Now, if you were able to reach out to the bar associates like I have, I'm actually in a process of something right now that I don't wish to divulge what it is. But let me tell you something. I'm going to be heard, and I'm going to make it clear to them what is really going on in my case and everything that I have found. And I tell you what, by the time I'm done, I'm going to have someone's head on a platter. I don't care who it is. I'm going after a lot of people with a lot of power. And
Now, you're doing this by yourself, or you're doing this with your attorney?
I've been digging and doing stuff on my own without my attorney. Um, they don't know the things that I have been up to, the things that I'm filing. I've been doing everything by myself, filing different motions, filing different affidavits. I've been building everything to prove to these courts. So that way, when I walk into a federal courtroom, I can say, Your Honor, you need to go back and read every single one of these files and everything that I have put onto the record. And I have demonstrated through everything that I have put on this record that it has not been abided by and that they have overlooked it and overlooked my constitutional rights, my rights to due process, my rights to a fair trial, my all of it, a right to a jury that is discriminatory,
I
which
understand.
they have made it public with everything. They even at the jail they had me public. They had my charges right out there for everyone to fucking
Hmm.
see.
Your charges from the other situation.
Yep, and my new ones, they had them out there
Okay.
too.
Okay. Well, they're going to
So
do
people,
that.
well, yeah, and I understand that, but they should not be doing that unless the person
That's
has been
where.
convicted of the charge. They should
Yes.
not be putting
I,
it public.
that's right. That's where you have to get with the top officials to have them change that law and change that rule and change that policy procedure. I should not be able to have to go into a police car to see what you've been charged with.
Right,
Because I could go to a police car and see what you've been charged with.
right.
Of course, I personally can't do it now. I'm not on the job. But if you were stopped by a police just for not coming to a complete stop at a stop sign, they'll pull you up and they can see everything about you.
Oh yeah, they pull everything
They
though.
can't hold
They'll pull
they,
your
they
passport.
can't they can't they can't hold that against you. The only thing they hold against you is your stop sign. They can either issue you a summons or give you a warning, one or the other, and that's it.
Shark, I'm going to be honest with you. They don't care about your constitutional rights until you're in the Supreme Court or federal courts. They do not care. Your constitutional rights does not mean dick to these lower courtrooms. I'm sorry. And you may be able to insert it, but insert it into your filings, because when you put it into your filing on your record, it is on your record that you filed um under color of law, or you filed a harassment order. You have copies of everything. You're keeping and documenting everything that you do and send in, because that is your proof. So when you go to Supreme Court or federal court and they see that they have violated your constitutional rights, then you can insert your constitution and they will listen. So you're always in a CPS case, you're always protecting that appeal. That appeal is what you want because that gets you into a higher courtroom. So by you fighting the system the way you guys are, and you got to fight it within, which means you need to file your affidavits, which means you need to file your motions. Don't wait for your attorney to do it for you, and don't ask other people to do it for you. You need to start learning how to draft your own motions and affidavits with case law to back your findings. Without that case law backing you, you got nothing. You need the case laws. And they have to be cases that were won.
Hey, Vinny, what I want to do is step off for a second. I want to see if I can find my cousin
Well,
because she's the only.
I'm getting ready to end the show here soon, Robert, because I need to go eat. I'm starving.
Oh, the reason why I was going to bring her on, as you were talking, something came to my mind, and she's the only person I know of that got 2 of her kids out of CPS, and she'll tell you how she did it. She's working on the 3rd one now.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that I know Darren wanted to get her on the show, so maybe we can do that plan for that for Monday night and get her on the show, because Darren would love to have her back on the show on Monday night.
Okay. Now, this link you sent me, I can't use this link again. Am I correct?
I don't know how this one works because this is my show, so I don't know. I guess I'll have to figure that out tomorrow and see if it changed at all. And if it didn't, then I'll tell you that this will be the
Well, you
link for
can
my show.
just send me a link. That's all. Because if you don't see me, that means I don't have a link.
Right.
Yeah. But getting back to the show, what you were talking about, unless people go out and have changes made, everything's going to stay the same. We can all bitch and moan and bitch to each other about the same old stuff, but it's not going to change. Now, I can't tell you exactly what did it. I can't tell you what did it, but something changed. That's why you have marijuana dispensaries. Because back in the 70s, everybody was getting arrested for marijuana. So something changed. As a result of the change, police officers can't arrest you for marijuana.
Right.
Unless you're doing it in a public place, they can hit you with a summons or a fine or something like that. But it's not like a misdemeanor or felony.
So,
but you could have whatever you want. You're even allowed to have plants in your backyard now too. But you can have up to what, 5, 6 plants?
Yeah.
You can have up to 6 plants, is it?
Six in veg, 6 in grow. Unlimited clothes and tea leaves.
There you go. Now you couldn't do that back in the 70s. You would get arrested for having marijuana seeds.
Yes, you would.
So you see something changed. So the same thing can happen with CPS. There could be a change, and you don't have to go through all this. So I'm using marijuana as an example. That's it right there. That's a perfect example.
We need to change the way. We need to change the way the legislative thinks when it comes to placing these laws in effect or placing these policies and procedures that these people are not following. So we need to implement a system that keeps track of what they are doing and not doing.
Yeah. So what I'm saying here is stop beating up on the delivery boy. Stop beating up on the messenger. Their job is just to send you a message. And I'm referring to CPS workers. They're just the messengers. You have to change it higher than them so they have no message to send. They can't come to your door and say, well, I'm taking your kids. And then you can say, well, I'm sorry. You can't take my kids. There's no authority that allows you to take my kids because you changed the system. But until that's changed, people get jobs every day at CPS and they go and they're going to steal your kids. and you're beating up the messenger. That's not the person to beat up. You got to beat up the
Yeah,
system.
that's true.
Yeah, you don't beat up
All
the
right.
police because the police arrested you for marijuana. You beat up the system and they changed the law. Look at it now. Now you can smoke marijuana and the police can't do a damn thing about it.
That's right.
You could grow in your backyard and the police can't do anything about it.
So
So
you
you
want
got
to
to
do last word,
change
Herbert?
the system. Last words is to learn the system as it is now until you get it changed. Follow and try to adhere to the system the way it is now so you don't have your children stolen by CPS. And above all, one of the things to do is don't give them, the CPS workers, a hard time. Tell them no. It's very simple. Why you? I got to say something a little longer than normal, Jenny. I watch a lot of these videotapes, and I see people arguing with the CPS, arguing with the CPS. And I'm like, why are you arguing with the person at your door? You just say no. You can't come in without a warrant. Goodbye. Close the door. Don't give them a whole lecture. You're wasting your own time. You just no. You can't come in unless you have a warrant. Close the door. Bye. That's it. Because they're not the ones
Yep.
to argue with. It's the same thing if you get a ticket for a stop sign. Don't argue with the police officer. Just plead
Because
not
they're
guilty and
recording.
argue with. Just
Right,
no.
because
Look,
they're
listen.
recording you.
If you get a ticket, yeah, if you get a ticket for a stop sign, don't argue with the cop. Just say, okay, thank you, and then plead not guilty and go to court and argue it.
Yep. Yeah, because they're recording you the whole time. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You see, and he's going to play that recording when you go to court. So remember, he's recording you. So, officer, why did you stop me for a stop sign? Oh, I didn't come to stop. No, you didn't. Okay, here's my license and registration. That's it. Don't argue with him. He's not the person to argue with. Now, when you plead not guilty, you go to court. Now you can argue with him in front of the judge.
Yep. All right.
So until people
Awesome.
understand that, argue with the right people. Don't argue with the wrong people. You don't argue with them little CPS people coming at your door. You just say, no, you can't come in and close the door. That's it. All right. That's all Herbert has to say. And I guess learn all you can about CPS and, try to stay off their radar.
And my last words are going to be this, guys. Know your constitutional rights. Learn your motions. Learn your affidavits. Learn things about CPS. Look over their policies and procedures. Look over the court's policies and procedures when it comes to statutes and what your statute laws are. And find case law that is close to that statute that you can interject into a motion or into an affidavit. That way you have something within the courts that you've filed on your own. So I implore you to defend yourself and your rights the right way. Start having your voice heard. If you have to share your cases, don't share full disclosure out there on like Facebook or TikTok or Twitter or Instagram. Give subtle hints of your case. Don't be prodding your entire case and your charges out to these people because they're learning what they can about you. And they're probably passing this on to other CPS workers because they all watch these sites. So just remember that. They watch YouTube as well. And I'm going to be honest, they keep track of all of us talking out because to them, we are criminals. And they are threatened by us because we are parents and we the people coming out and speaking and trying to shed light on things that have been going on for years. So with that said, I hope you all have a great weekend. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock is the Tiff and the Punisher show. They are on till 8 o'clock. So make sure you guys catch their show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a great rest of the weekend.
And stop
And
talking about the laws being corrupted. Make the laws correct. Work with your senators and congressmen and everybody else. And yes, the laws are corrupted. So uncorrupt the laws by working with the people in high positions. Uncorrupt the law.
Awesome. All right, you guys, we are out of here. We are CPS Victims Hunting for Justice, Vinny edition. You guys have a great night.
Take care. Take care, Vinny.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm going to get this going here, so.
Imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stopped the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they mightest feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calm. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.